Welcome, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, and greetings to all of you people. Another night session nekak. Okay, puri session nekak with you people to discuss the 2024 structure paper. Okay, 2024 structure paper was a quite interesting one, especially with the type of questions they have asked, the detail depth they have gone through. එහෙම කියලා අමාරු එකක් නෙමෙයි, but then a lot to learn. Okay, so if you are willing to learn a lot nang to do papers with us nang, there here we go with a 2024 paper එකත් එක්ක. So we will be discussing in detail. We will be learning, checking the scheme a lot of times. Okay, we will see how appropriate to write the answer. Okay, what you really wanted to write. Okay, what you should be avoiding. How scores are being given. So let's go in deeper. Let's go in detail to see how 2024 paper has been designed. Okay, so let's get started off. Okay, we're going to have a night session today, so mostly I'll be planning to go through the structure on, and exams are around the corner, so we do have the exam day after tomorrow, Friday, and day after tomorrow, Saturday. No, you all do have the exam. No, Saturday තියෙන්නේ යානු. Yes, no, right. Hari, once it comes to mm, the good, once we get into the lesson, okay, especially with the structure, now you might see recent times in the structure paper they include the marks also. Okay, how many marks they have allocated, especially with this lesson they have been including it also. So when you guys are going to go with the structure on, okay, keep a note in there, okay, that you have to look for the marks. මෙච්චර marks මට ලැබෙනවා කියලා ඔයගොල්ලන්ගොත් note එකක් තියාගන්න. By keeping a note in there, you will be able to know, okay, how many marks am I actually scoring, especially from this. Hurry. So normally in the day two only you will be getting the structure paper. So in this day two segment, okay, first of all, especially structure you have to allocate maximum only 1 hour. Okay, don't go beyond 1 hour. If it's less than no problem, but 1 hour tama because you have to give that 2 hours for the essay. It's a total 3 hour paper, especially in the day two session. So you will be getting a complete 1 hour paper in, you will be getting a complete 1 hour for the structure. So you can start the structure in the first peg segment itself. Essay structure that's your wish, your call, but make sure you write it to the point. And structure gives you a complete of 40 marks. Actually you can score 20 marks from this. Have මේකට වඩා MCQ එක වැඩි. MCQ ල වේද කූඩ. So MCQ is really the good got නම් කියන people used to call God කියලා. අන්න ඒක තමයි MCQ එකත් එක්ක කියන්නේ. You guys have the exam on 20 Saturday no උගරන්ට තියෙන exam එක. Naseem? Saturday தானே? Hari. So let's see how to go through. A form has been used to enter and complain. Okay, yes, no, right. Complain regarding the විනාඩියක් දෙන්න මම charge එක දාලා ඉන්න. Hari. So regarding the goods and services on they received in shown in figure 1.1. Hari. එතකොට they have given 7 blanks. Fill the 7 blanks to make the code. So when you're writing the structure, remember you have to write the structure on the paper itself. Remember they won't check in the part 2 නැත්තම් වෙනම ලිව්වොත් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. So when you're writing the answers, make sure all your structure answers are included in the structure paper. Do not write anything else anywhere. Right? Hurry. So they have given the code, style, form tag, form, method, and then they have given the address. Now form will have two attributes. Form mostly has two attributes. One is action and the other one is known as the action, the other one is the method. The method tells the how data is being transmitted, okay, that is how data is sent, Okay, the method refers to the mechanism how the data is being sent and the location where it's going to be sent. So action will be always the action. Label for district. So district is what? It's a drop down list. Drop down list nang we have a form element. We call it as list tag එකත් එක්ක පටන් ගන්නෙ. Select an option. Then we do have the select එකේ closing tag එකක් තියෙනවා මං හිතන්නේ. Yes. Slash select. So you have to put the slash. Then we do have goods and then we do have services. These are two buttons. What type of a button are they? They are radio button. So input type radio buttons. Then finally we have all the complaint sections and everything. Then we come into the last one after the telephone number. We have this. We call it as the submit button. So input type submit. What is the name of the button? Submit. Then we have the image. Easy question, okay? Right. Apart from this, we do have what else? We do have a form element. What type of different type of form element? You might have a very big text like this. මෙයාට අපි කියනවා text area කියලා. When you're writing the text area, make sure it's a singular word. We have a radio button, drop down is there, submit buttons is there. All those things are available. Straightforward, easy way to get the answer. What happens when the user presses the submit button? 1 marks. So when you press the submit button, the form will enter data and send it to the server. The form entries will be sent to the action underscore.php file. The form entries or form data will be sent to the action. So you have to say where it will be sent also. What is the benefit of using email entry instead of text? Text taking we can write whatever. You can write anything in there, but email attribute will do enable format validation. Enable format validation. So it checks for the at sign. At sign. At domain. It enables format validation. So if you use email, it makes sure that you write an at and a domain. You have to write the domain also. It does format. What can you guess the purpose of the pattern 0 to 9 curly brackets 10 with the respect of form entry field? In the form entry field, okay, where do we see that? In the form entry field, form they say size 10, that is the maximum length. Sorry, this is the length of its size. Maximum length. Patterns சொல்றது வந்து the how we can write it down. Okay, how can we write the pattern? So this pattern represents, it has characters from 0 to 9. It can contain digits from 0 to 9 with 10 characters, 10 digits. You all remember the දන්නේ නැහැ අපි powerhouse එකක් කරනකොටත් මම මේ වගේ question එකක් දුන්නා. Pattern, if I write it like this, capital A to simple A, capital simple Z, and you can have 10. So you can have characters from capital A to simple Z. Characters from A to Z, capital O simple, total 10 characters. This is, you can customize the pattern. Okay, this is format check. format check එකක්. Okay, what happens in here? Can you guess the pattern 0 with respect of n? What is the purpose of the pattern? Enable to enter any digit from 0 to 9. Okay, set to enter any digit from 0 to 9. Set to enter any digit from 0 to 9 with 10 digits in total. Oh, you can say 0 to 9. You can write from 0 to 9. Enter again, enter any digits. Thank you. Enter two what is two enter two enter digital. Basically enter any digit. Enter any digit from 0 to 9 with total 10 digits. With 10 digits in total. Okay, fine. What is the purpose of title? Okay, in the source code. Now title එකක් දුන්නොත් it is like a tooltip. Have you noticed the tooltip? Let me tooltip. That is when you go near to a text and it will pop up. Okay, what is it කියලා? It's a small pop-up sign. ඒකට කියනවා අපි tooltip කියලා. Okay, it gives a small description. මේක තමයි tooltip කියලා කියන්නේ. So if you give a title, it enables a tooltip. Okay, enable a tooltip. Tooltip. Enable a tooltip. No, provide a description for image. It provide a description for image. Got it? So what happens when you enter the submit form? It will get it to the action PHP file. So you have to specifically say කොහෙද යන්නේ. It will submit. The form data will be sent or form data will be submitted. Will be submitted to the action page PHP file. Enable form validation at domain. Okay, set form validation. Enter any digits from 0 to 9 with 10 digits in total. Provide a tooltip or provide a description for image. That's the title. Alternative is if the image is not available. ALT will provide an alternative text. ALT provides alternative text when the image is not visible. That's different. ALT comes only if the image is not there. Title comes if the image is there. It's a description. Okay, what is the main purpose of this HTML PHP code? First, we'll see what the code does. Okay, we'll divide into segments. These are all variables. Okay, host username database name variable. In this line of a code, set a connection, database connection. So I try to connect to a database. Remember, a database connection should have 4 parameters. The first parameter is the server. The second parameter is the username. The third parameter is the password. The fourth parameter is the database. So parameters ඔක්කොම යනවා. මෙන්න මේ line එකකින් මොනවාද වෙන්නේ? It check for the database connection status. Check database connection status. If the connection is failed, it will die. What is die? Die කියලා කියන්නේ exit. exit by displaying connection failed, and it will display the error. Connect error කියලා කියන්නේ display error. Display connection error. So we know this is the first part. ඊට පස්සේ it's an SQL statement. SQL statement එකක් which will select the student name, first name, last name from the table. Student. Here result equal MySQLi query. This is where you execute the SQL command. You execute the command in there. If MySQL num rows in this result is greater than 0, making මොනවද වෙන්නේ? Now when you execute it, you will be selecting the data now. So this SQL statement will give you as a table. මේ table එකේ you check the number of records. කීයක් තියෙනවද කියලා we check it. It checks whether num rows, okay, check number of records. It checks how many records are there in the result table. So once you run the SQL statement on the table will give you the records. A records, okay, it checks the number of records. Is it greater than 0? If it's greater than 0, then you will be displaying these values. If not, you will display not found. Close connection. Okay, good. Then what you do? You convert the arrows. So, or else you convert the records into an array. Converts records into an array. Because there will be multiple records are there. You can't take the whole table. So what we do it is we run the PHP command a table like gattama or row by row. A record එක කියලා කියන්නේ row එකක් නෝ. Row by row what I'll do it is I'll convert into an array. For an example, now what is the statement we are selecting? Select ID, first name, last name. No. So it will be like this. No. ID, first name, last name. This is how it will come. ID, first name, last name. This is how it will come. Okay, so you will have the ID 101, first name A, last name B. Now this is what a record. You will convert this into an associated array. How this associated array will have ID, you will have 101, first name, you will have A, last name, you will have B. එහෙම තමයි array එකක් හැදෙන්නේ. So ඔරෝරු රෝකු ඔරෝරු array set down. Sorry, එක එක row එකම ඔරෝරු array කි වරු. Individual එනවා. So you will have the key and the value. We call it as associated array. This is almost like dictionary. A colon 101, B colon 102. Remember, it's almost like a dictionary. Okay, perfect. එතකොට මෙන්න මේක convert the record into an array. And then what they do it is they display it. See, table row ID. Display array keys. Okay, array keys as a table, as a row. Table data no, as a row. Or else as a column. Display the array as a column. Now it does a lot of things. First thing, it sets the variable. Second thing, it has the database connection. Third thing, it checks for the database. Fourth thing, it has the SQL statement. Fifth one, it executes the SQL statement. Sixth one, it checks for the number of rows. Seventh one, convert the rows into an array. So eight, it will display those arrays as a column. The make a means to the problem that all the students face, it is writing the purpose. When it comes to the purpose, okay, if I ask you, okay, what is the purpose of this watch? Simple one line, give me the answer. What is the purpose of this watch? Check the time. Avalatan. It's a black color. It has this dial, that dial. Okay, when you all are going to write the purpose, just ultimate output clear. Don't say it connects to the database. But still, okay, okay, check the errors, error the meva the ukkamana. So we'll break it down into two. So the 2 marks is broken down into two parts. First, connecting the database. Second one is, okay, displaying the entries. Okay, it connects to the database. It connects to the database and display display student ID, first name, last name from student table as a table, from the student table as a table. It connects to the database. It connects to the what database? Student DB. It connects to the student. It connects to the student DB database and display, or else you can say, and print the student ID, and print the student ID, first name, last name from students table. What table? Students. Students table as a table, as a table. Simple. Two line. These are the two things you wanted. AK0 now found the Nathan connection open, the displaying the error, the running the number of rows, the mukut. The purpose of the code is this: it connects to the student database and print the student ID, first name, last name as a table. That's it. Simple as it is. As a table if records found. Or now if records found. Else display no student found. If you have space, you write it. Nothing. Whatever I have written, the first part is more than enough. Make sure you write it to the point. Converting an associate table. Purpose adille. Purpose of the code. Again, what is the purpose of this bottle? To hold water. Simple. In the code, it will print. It will print what? The first name, last name, student ID from the student table as a table. All of them. That's the purpose. It will print it. Okay. Other checking the connection, array statement, num rows, table. Those are all the process. It goes to the point. Examiner wants that only. Okay, they look only for that ITAK, write it specifically. Purposely in a this is what is needed. Specifically a pilu mechrai. Vadipura Cliandone, Adoing Cliandone. Sounds good. Did you all understand? For you all to get an idea, I just gave you more components on this PHP. PHP can good at Mongolan in detail. Now, I hope it will be also useful for you all. A complete answer. Check this out. Question number 1. Okay, 10 marks. Question. Sounds good. All good. Nice. Good. All right, let's get into the next question. That's also another interesting type of question, especially from our concepts of ICT. Uh, okay, out of the blue moon, okay, they have some concepts of ICT and okay, IT based related question. Nekak Azim, of course, will be struggling this kind of theory question. You pray the God, don't give me theory, make it very hard, give me logical question. I'm fascinated. But these type of questions, it's all about writing to the point. That's it. Okay, you get whole marks in there. So the marks would deal at kuhumad allocations has been allocated. Api balam kuhumad in detail karamu. Okay, these marks are allocated the balam. Okay, the abstract model of information, how information is created using three different process. Okay, simple input, process, output. Good. In that input, process, output, write down the component of ABC for each of the following online activity. Successfully log in into your favorite online bookshop. If you want to log into your favorite online bookshop, what is the input? Provide user credentials. Verification of user credentials. Then they will say successfully log in into the system. Got it? Activity 2, selecting the items to purchase and adding them to the cart trolley. So if you wanted to select the item, what is the input in there? Selecting items. Selecting items. Process, adding them to the shopping cart. What will be the output of it? What do you think the output of this? Once you add to the shopping cart, it will give the total summary. Total payment, total payment details, and cart summary. Total payment details and cart summary. How much you have to pay and cart summary. Successfully paying your order using debit credit card. So if you want to pay to debit credit card, now what is the input, output, and process? Entering card details. Then verification of card details. Once you enter it, you have to verify verification of card details. Then output will be successfully. Okay, successful. Natam payment status. Don't say always successful. Payment status. Whether is it successful then at the munada kila. Okay, it's like simple to the point. Okay, but what to do? You have to go through the theory. Okay, specifically, maybe तो मैं but the marks. But to the meaning later date, the successfully logging into the system, the same item, you decided to use the repeat previous order option. So there is an option, In Zoom or Amazon, you can also rebuy. Another option, I'll say it as rebuy ke liye मुझको. That's where you can purchase the items again. Once again, ඔයගලන්ට ඔක්කොම purchase කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Rebuy option. Write down the changes to in there. So if you wanted to rebuy, then you don't add to the cart. Bill. Mm-hmm. Yes. Bill. Yes. Good. Rebuy. So select repeat previous order option. Once you select the previous order option, update shopping cart and summary. Then it will display total payable and items. Good. So you're not selecting the item. Rather than selecting the item, we directly what we do, we use that repeat previous order option. अब repeat previous order option ने click करा automatically the shopping carts will get updated. Once the shopping carts gets updated in there, it will display the total payable and items. So you get 1 mark for that. Good. Open source softwares. What are open source softwares? Those are completely free. Free softwares are being technically skilled. To use this free software, you don't get any guidelines or mukutne. You need to have that technically skill velati configuring and setting up them. Okay, there might be YouTube videos and everything, but step by step guidance support, 24 hours support mahutne. Briefly explain how setting up and configuring a proprietary software. This is a paid license. Okay. Now, if you are setting up a paid license, basically the software manufacturer company would have given, they would have given these details. So we can say vendor company, Himanatang proprietary company would provide support and guidelines on how to set up and configure. But if you are using an open source, you don't get any support. There will be some manuals, but 100% how to support it. There won't be any company to support it. You have to know it by technically. While ICT allow us to disseminate our ideas and more efficient and inputful way, using IT, you can take your word to the, you can take your face to the whole world. People will know you from all the places. Okay, you can be in Kandy, you can be in Colombo, but people from Jaffna, Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa might know you. How? Through IT. It also contribute high level of plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Copying. Okay, copying of someone else's work than the traditional IT. Okay, briefly explain the reason of it. Because it is accessible. What is the reason? Because IT, ICT can be made accessible. ICT is made accessible. ICT is made accessible to anyone from anywhere. So why do you see high level of copying, especially with IT? Because it is made accessible now. GTA V, you might have seen these days. There's a leak going on. Okay, GTA Rockstar game. A video leak there is a cyber company, cyber attacking company, cyber leak. They are posting the leaks. What is the main concern in there? Why? Because it has made accessible. IT is made accessible to anyone from anywhere. A hinda tamai okay, high level of plagiarism in copying. Okay, he's trying to leak it. He's telling basically Rockstar has said we will be only issuing digital copies, but the cyber league company says no, we need physical copies. So tori kila ungaha garno dekam. Some argue the use of ICT as an indirect contributor of global warming, that is carbon emission. Carbon emission. Briefly explain the major view on this. Yes, true. True. Usage of computers. Now, if I using the computers, I don't emit carbon directly. Now, if I'm driving a vehicle, yes, I emit carbon directly. If I'm burning something, I emit carbon directly. But using a computer, it doesn't happen. True. Okay, true. True. Usage of computers indirectly. Usage of computers indirectly contribute contribute carbon emission contribute carbon emission slash global warming from where? First, from production, from transportation and usage, electricity. So using okay, computers will not directly harm the carbon emission, but indirectly from producing the laptops, from transporting the laptops, and the usage will affect it indirectly. That's true. Okay, these are all direct answers. You browse an online product catalog. That's a website catalog in an e-commerce site, looking to purchase the site and collecting your history without your consent. It's a bad thing. What is the security related concern? You will say breach data privacy. Sorry, breach of data privacy. No, breach of data privacy. Breach of data privacy. Software piracy, data privacy. Yeah. Okay. Auction. In an auction, you will see buyer's bid. In a reverse auction, you will see seller's bid. In an auction, the price goes high. In a reverse auction, the price goes low. In a reverse auction, from seller and the buyer, who does the bidding? The seller do the bidding, and usually the lowest bid wins. Remember, auction ne ka karna kotak mostly if I am buying something, I will bid it. Buyer bids, and the highest value will be given for the buyer. In reverse auction, the opposite, seller bids and the lowest value. Auction goes for product, services goes for reverse auction. Mostly products are under auction, services yanne reverse auction neකට. A complete theory fledged paper එකක් මේ පාර expect කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ වගේ theory එකක් එනයි කියලා වන්දා වරලාම් okay આવත් මේ වගේ තමයි one word answer to the point. They won't ask direct answers, they won't ask definitions, they will ask you to apply and write it. So when you write it, check for the marks and make sure you write it to the point. Don't beat around the bush. හරියට මේක තමයි කියලා ලියන්න. That's it. Solid. Purpose නම් write only the purpose. You don't need any other explanations. To the point, that's it. You get the marks. Right. Balanda check question number two. Okay, good. Let's get into the next segment. Finally. Finally, Python IA comes in. Mm, okay, so let's see how to approach this question number three. Yeah. Okay, draw a flowchart. Last time 2024 also they came up with a flowchart. 25 is also coming up. So this year also you can expect it. But when I kill a we are going to go through a flowchart. Very simple. Use this technique. Identify what are the inputs of the code, what is the process of the code, and what is the output of the code. May tun identify karot. It's easy. Draw a flowchart to input the name of the text file and count and print the number of words. So basically, the input of the code is the text file, output is the number of words, and the process is going to be the count. See, we got it. Okay, basically gives the count also. Assume that the file exists in a computer. Okay, we'll have the file in exist in the computer. Go on reading each character. So you have to read each character in the style and stop when you encounter EOF. So this is the condition. So you have to keep on reading the file as a loop and stop when you mention EOF. It's a flowchart, so you don't need to go technically. Let's see how to approach. You start the code. Nice. After starting the code, we have to get the input. So we'll say input file name. And I'll say also word count. I'll put a, what is it? A small process as count equals 0, input file name. Good. Then what is the next thing we have to do? We have to open the file. Open file. Good. Hurry. Once you open the file, what is the next thing we have to do? So we have input the name, file like I open the file. Now we have to read the character. Okay, we have to read character. You can read the line or you can read character. I'll say read line. Read characters. Okay, you read the character in there. Once you read it, you have to check whether you have encountered EOF. Is character equal EFO, EOF. E, sorry, EOF. You check whether after reading the character, is it EOF? එහෙම yes වුණොත් we have to stop the code. If it becomes yes, you have to stop the code by displaying the output because එකෙන් පස්සේ ඕනේ නැහැ නේ ආයේ. So we display the count and we stop the code. Display count and we end the code. If it's yes. If it's not none, you can increase the counter because you have to increase the counter in there. You can say increase, or you can write it technically or in technically also, count equal count plus character. You can also write length of character on the pull len character. And then the code goes again to the read character. You check whether is it encountered is EOF, එහෙමනම් නැත්නම් you get the count plus length character. You keep on doing it, and if you encounter EOF, you simply display an in the code. A simple flowchart. Remember, flowchart has not to be technical. Flowchart doesn't need to be technical. Doesn't need to be technical. Just remember, it doesn't need to be technical. Flowchart you can write generally ලියන්න පුළුවන්. In your simple words, you want a technical දැම්ම කියලා. It's not. So character where a word where as they ask for count of words. අපි එච්චර detail තේවලඩා. Okay, 3 marks தானே. So character where a word where characters தானே almost அவ்வளோ டீட்டெயிலாக போவானா கேரக்டராக வேர்டா அதெல்லாம் யூ டோன்ட் நீட் டு கோ மச் இன் டீட்டெயில் ஓகே ජෙනරලි ලිව්වොත් ඇති okay එච්චර ඩීප් යන්නත් එපා එච්චර ඕනෙත් නැහැ 3 marks no 6-7 marks in the okay if they ask Python then of course form python again Shall we do the Python also? Here we go. File equal input. You have to get the file name. Then I have to set the count equal 0. Open file, comma, mode is read. I have to open the file. So if equal open, I have to open the file. Then for line in F, that means line by line it will be reading. If line equal EOF, if line equal to EOF, then now what I know. We say display भरा print count, and then you stop the code break. Else if it's not none, I can say count equal count plus length of count equal count plus length of line. It's right. File equal input, that is the name of the file. Okay, count equals 0. You open the file for reading purpose. For line in F, it's going to be repeating line by line, one by one. And if the line is equal to EOF, you print the count and stop the code. Else, if it's not null, count equal count plus len line. Okay, happy? Split split just characters now they're asking. Okay, specifically they're asking the number of characters. It's a deep end too complete I do. Okay, write down the output of the following Python code. We have a function. Remember, the function will be always inactive. Functions will be always okay, inactive. So the moment that you call the function, it will become active. So n is 12. So n is 12. Now we have to check the code. There is a empty list called result. For I in range 1, that is the starting, and n plus 1, that is the ending. So n plus 1 කියලා කියන්නේ 1 එකෙන් පටන් ගෙන n is 12, 12 plus 1 is 13. So 1 to 13 කියලා කිව්වොත් 1 2 3 4 5 dot 12. I have to repeat the code 13 times. Let's assume I is 1. Is 1 mod 2, 1 mod 2 equal to 0? Is it 1 mod 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Is 1 mod 2 equal to 3, equal to 2, and 1 mod 2 equal to 3? What is this? This is divisible by 2. This is divisible by 3. Divisible by 3. If a number is divisible by 2 and if the number is divisible by 3, which number is divisible by 2 and 3? I'm going to go one by one. Repeat කරන්න ඕනේ එකින් එක බලන්න ඕනේ. I have to say I is 1, I is 2, I is 3, I 4, I 5, I 6 because it's going to go in the range. What numbers are divisible by 2 and 3? 6 is divisible by 2 and 3. Okay, 12 is divisible by 2 and 3. Only two numbers. So 6 will be when I is 6. When I is 6 divisible by 2 and 3. Now result dot append. What is this append? Add. Add. So add karandalo. 6 will get updated. Then 12 will get updated. It will get updated. Did you get it? So it's going to go in a loop. So loop ke yanakota one by one yanakota. Only these two numbers are divisible by 2 and 3. Okay, and then it will return the result. So output will be basically a variable. It's very be list 6 comma 12. So if I say to output 6 comma 12 output to now 6 12 means 6 comma 12 as a list because it's a list. Check in detail බලන්න තේරුණාද කියලා. Python also you can approach it. Great, perfect. So let's get into the next segment. That's going to be a primary based question. So may question wage ekak karla tibbot this might be easy. Ehema nattang it's going to be tough, especially. The five blanks in the following Python code has been written to find the primary numbers from 2 up to a given number. A primary number is a whole number greater than 1. So it has to be greater than 1 and divisible by 1 itself by and itself the same number. Primary numbers from 2 up to a 5, 2 and 3. Upper, it's a number that you're going to take an input end of the range. Upper Kiligani, it's a number that you're going to write the range in there. Any number that's like the last number upper. 2 we have to go upper. Okay, it has to be int. Why? Because if you use input, it will be taken as a string. So always remember, input command will take it as a string. So we convert in int. If upper is greater than 1, now we have to calculate the what? primary number. So we have to go through one by one. So there are two loops. First, we have to go from 2 to this number. Suppose if I say 6 is the upper, so from 2 to 6 venakang I had to go. Okay, primary numbers between 2 and uppers are, between 2 and uppers are, you can say 2 and upper. Num in range 2 to upper. What is this? This is a loop. Okay, that counts from, okay, 2 එකෙන් පටන්ගෙන till the upper. Okay, upper වෙනකන් යනවා. Should I give upper plus 1? That's the next thing. Okay, let's assume primary key up from 2 up to 5 are 2 5. 5 is also included, no? See, 5 is included, so we had to include 5, so plus 1. I then only know it will come 1 down. If not, 5 will be not printed. No, if I say 2 to 5, say no, it will go from 2 to 4. So plus 1. So that's the loop that goes in from 2 to 5. Loop that counts from 2 to upper. Hurry, that's done. Then we have another loop that goes to check this primary number. Now, how do you know 6 is not a primary number? How do you know 7 is a primary number? Because 6 is divisible by 2, 6 is divisible by 3, 6 is divisible by 6, 6 is divisible by 1. But 7 is divisible by 1 and 7. We know that any number is divisible by 1 and that number, so we don't need to check it. But that number should not be divisible by any other number. So 6 gatot, I have to divide 6 and see. If I take the number 6, how do you check whether 6 is a divisible number? I have to divide 6 by 1, 6 by 2, 6 by 3, 6 by 4, 6 by 5, and 6 by 6. Methana, I will be getting 0. Sorry, 6 by, I'll be getting 0 here. This will give you 0, this will give you 0, this will give you 2, this will give you 1, this will give you 0. See, it gets multiple zeros, you know. So in here, obviously, I know this number will be divisible by 1, divisible by 6. එහෙම ගත්තත් මැද එන්න බෑ මේ. It cannot be. So I have to go through a loop that starts from 2 and goes till 5. Because I'm going to omit this 1, I'm going to omit this 6 also. මේ දෙක මම omit කරන්න යනවා when I'm calculating the prime number. Why? That's how they have given here. Okay, you can also include it, but ඒක වැඩක් නැහැ. I'll check it only in this range. මෙන්න මේ range එක විතරක් මම බලන්න. මේ range එක විතරක් බලන්න. So for I in range 2 to, I'll say upper. Sorry, 2 to num. If num goes from that number, no, 2 3 4 5 6 kilogram. Now if num is 4, the loop has to go from 2 to 3. If num is through, it has to go from 2. If num is 5, I have to go and divide it 2 to 4 venakang I have to divide and see. If num is 6, I have to divide from 2 to 5 and see. ඒක තමයි 2 to num. 2 එකෙන් පටන් ගෙන num වෙනකන් අතර එන්න. If num divided by 2, if num divided by what number? If I divided by that number, no, if I divided by that number, if 6 divided by 1, here the 1 is 6 is, sorry, if 6 කියලා කියන්නේ the number divisible by I. This is that number, this is that I. 6 divided by 2, that's that I. if that number is equal to 0, එහෙමනම් I'll say break. Stop. I don't need it. Why break? Because it's divisible. If it's divisible now, pointless checking the number. If the number is divisible, pointless checking the number. So it can be deleted again. Good. Right. Let's also go for the summary again. First, you are getting a number. Make you are not finding a number primary key or not. You are having a range of numbers. Now, if I say 2, you go from 2 to 5. I'll do the Python IDLE also for this question. Put the detail, yeah. Make a put the 30 explain current. Okay, when I enter 2, and if I say a number, the code goes till that number when I can, okay, something like this. Okay, upper kiradala, I'll say int input. Okay, for I pronum in range 2 to upper plus 1. Print now. What is the meaning of this? I'm going to initiate a variable called upper, and I'm going to get an input from the user. I'm going to assign a variable called num in range 2 to upper plus 1. Let's run the code. I'll enter a value 5. Okay, int input. What is the mistake? Did I get it all good? Range print. Mm, 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 mm. Not it. Okay, put other case software. I'll use. Okay, let's run the code. Okay, if I say 6, see, if I say 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, inside this, I have to check whether who are the prime numbers. If I say 10, it will go from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for num in range, 2 equal. Now what I do it is for I in range. Now 6 num, 6 I have to divide it. 2 to num. Print I comma num comma I balanda. If I say 10, it will go like this. 3 to 4 to, sorry, 3 to 2 and 4. 4 will be the number 4 2. Yes, 4 2. 525354 62636465 72737475 76828384858687929395. What you have been doing it is, now I have a range no from 2 to what number I wanted to go. I did 2 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. In that, if it's 10 nang, I start dividing 10 by 2, 10 by 3, 10 by 4, 10 by 5. If I'll say if number percentage I equal to 0, I'll say break. If it's divisible nang, break it. එහෙම නැත්තං if it's divisible nang, break it. And after breaking the code, if you encounter this for loop, okay, Yes. If it's break it, you can print the number. Let's see. 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Podakinda code Podakachbachasuna. Where should I put this now? Make a Palle 3, 5, 7, 9. Maybe in Haririava. But it's coming again and again. Okay, why is it coming? I have to put it outside the loop. I have to put else. Else got them at Haryana. Yeah, he has put an else for 4. Right. Okay, he has put an else for 4. Hurry. So may have 4 or 4 no. See 2, 3, 5, 7. I'll say 56. All the prime numbers from 2 to 56. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 43. 43 is also a prime number. You can also get the count if you want. How many prime numbers are there? If you wanted, basically, I can say count equals 0. And I can say count equal count plus 1. And basically, after the code, I can say count. 18 prime numbers are there. From 2 to 100, there are 25 prime numbers. From 2 to 1000, there are 168 prime numbers. From 2 to 2500, there are 367 prime numbers. So what did I do in here? I just simply put a count a variable like adala, make count variable like adala. In if the code doesn't break none, I'll say count equal count plus 1. If the code doesn't break none, count equal count plus 1. After ending of all the loop, I'll print count. So that is how the code goes. Yeah, inside else. Why inside else then? Oh, once the loop is finished, if it's never break none, then you can say count equal count plus 1. Okay, a nice interesting one. Normally they give it to you all to find the prime number, but this time range ke athare prime number ekak dala. It's also a nice good one. Completely logic based question ekak. All right, okay. Next is going to be for 2 to 2000 or 2500 inchi 2500 367. Okay, perfect. List the proper orders on SSADM stages. Okay, SSADM comes in designing stage. In SDLC, when you are designing the software, we go from requirement analysis to design. Okay, so design ke they use a methodology, a framework called SSADM. SSADM goes with 3 different techniques majorly. First, it goes with feasibility study. It checks whether can we design it. Then requirement analysis. Requirement analysis. Then third one, requirement specification. Fourth one, okay, logical system design, logical design, physical design. So this is the order. So they are giving you majorly three list the proper order three stages in there. So stages tunak neme pahak tino. If I sort out all the stages, feasibility study, Once after the feasibility study, I'll take both these requirements together and both these designs together. So I'll say requirement and then I'll say design. Okay, system requirement or system analysis or system specification and then design. Write down benefit of prototyping. Prototyping के लिए providing a sample. By providing a sample, you can get clear idea. Okay, reduce requirement risk. Clear, you can get a clear idea. You can also get reduce a requirement risk in here. Number two, you will be able to get feedback, early access to system, early feedback. What is prototyping? Simply prototyping refers to providing a sample. Good. This type of a question, let's see. The billing system is required for the following information in a hotel. Suitable for unstable requirement. Good. There is this entity guest is there, and there are three different processes. One, okay, two, three. Okay, that is prepare cost, final bill, payment. What they say, draw an entity diagram to check out of the description containing only the following entity and process. You can't add any entity, but include necessary data store and data flows. You can add any necessary data store. But the question says the hotel has different type of room with different rates. Hotel also have a restaurant and a health center. A guest can take one or more rooms, and once the guest checks in the hotel, all his transaction at the restaurant and the health should be entered into the system. When the guest checks out by giving his name, his final bill should be made considering his period of stay. Final bill should be made period of stay, rooms occupied, his transaction at the restaurant, and the health. So final bill එක කරන්න you need all these four factors: health, restaurant, room, and stay. When the guest is given with the final bill, he makes for the payment and the receipt is given. Good. So room cost cost of the room, you have to do it. Now for an example, if you are going to create the cost of the room now, what are the informations you wanted? Okay, he gives his name. Nikan cost එක හදන්න පුළුවන්ද? Bad. To create the host, you have to get the rate of the room. Room rate is needed. No, I wanted to find the room cost. So rates. So I have to get this information. Rate එක ගන්න ඕනේ. And then I have also to stay information. How many days did you stay? Guest information උත් දාන්න පුළුවන්. Guest lage information. Guest stay or else yeah, stay information, occupied information, rooms, all the information is there. Stay information එකත් ගන්න ඕනේ. මේ දෙක අරගෙන තමයි room cost එක හදන්න පුළුවන්. Now for an example, you go to a hotel and the receptionist is going to make the bill now. He needs two things. Number one, the room rate and how many days did you stay. So the room rate is coming in from the room. You will be able to get the rate. I'll just give any random database. Database, data stores can be anything. Data stores can be anything. You can write any name you want. It doesn't matter. Look, what is specifically you don't have it, but the idea. Okay, you have to get the rates. Okay, and you can get the rooms. Rooms නැත්නම් you can also get the guest information උත් ගන්න පුළුවන් ඕනේ නම්. Room එකත් ගන්න පුළුවන් නැත්නම් guest උත් ගන්න පුළුවන්. The number of guest stayed. Hari. That is to calculate the room cost. And this cost will be sent to the final bill. To calculate the final bill, you will need the period of stay, room occupied, restaurant, and the health transaction. So you have to get from the health, and then you have to get the information from the restaurant also. So those information is also the update. Bill. And then the final amount will be given. If the customer does the payment, amount is given here also. Payment එක කරාම in the payment එකේ you will be getting the receipt. When the customer gives the name, the costing has to be done. May cost එක හදන්න you need the rates and the guest. How many rate? What is the rate? Okay, of the room and the number of guests they stayed. And then you make the cost and you send the cost to make the final bill. May final bill එක හදන්න you will need the health, restaurant and the cost of the room and then send the final amount. They will make the payment and the payment receipt will be given. A nice interesting question. Make a you can take your own suitable data stores, but these are essential. Restaurant data stores has to be taken to get the data. You can also combine these two data stores together, no problem, but idea has to be same. Okay, room rates and details, stay and room occupied. Perfect. Next question. When making the final bill, a 10% service charge is added. When making the final bill, a 10% service charge is added to the total amount that the guest has to pay. Write down the description, process description to make the bill. So you have to say how the bill has to be made. The final bill can be made, should be made by getting or collecting the room cost, health, and restaurant bill by collecting, by summing, by calculating the total room cost plus health cost plus restaurant bill and adding a 2% to the final bill. The final bill should be made by calculating the total room cost plus health cost and plus restaurant bill, health bill plus restaurant bill and adding a 2% to the final bill. 2%, I mean, sorry, 10%. Yeah. You can write the description. This is one way. Or you can write the coding format. Input room cost. Input health bill. Input restaurant bill. total equal room plus health plus restaurant. Net bill equal total plus total into 10%. You can write it like this also. Total equal room plus health plus restaurant, net bill equal total plus total into 10%. Easy, no? Kind of when you go through with the question, you feel it a little bit confident. Don't give up on yourself. Like, I can try it. Why not? Sounds easy, no? Shape killer. Fill in the blanks. Okay, check with your answers in here. 2024 structure is completely a theory based paper. Full fledged theory. Amma, technical adu full fledged theory katini. Okay, good. Let's see how to go through with the next question. A good user interface make it easier to user to understand and interact a system or navigate a system or use a system. Any wording is fine. Okay, good. Next one. A shop manager in a stock control has three options to select, either two off from off the shelf, off the shelf के लिए क्या है ready-made A and B, and he can also develop a stock control. This is a tailor-made. The manager wants the final stock component to have two features, F1 and F2. Suggest a method, the manager can choose it. Now there is two problem is also there. Now first thing is you have to see whether feature 1 feature 2 is available in all these system. If suppose if all the systems have the feature 1 feature 2, you have to go for the cost. If all the cost is also same, now you have to go for the maintenance. If the maintenance is also okay, now you have to go looking for the security updates. So you have multiple factors to consider, okay, to select which one is the best. Suggest a method a manager can choose from ABC. Hint, give marks to each options. What the hell is those marks? Okay, each marks. So you have to go with like marking systems. The manager could, okay, could provide, okay, the manager could provide marks or points for each system which has the features expected, along with first one. Points could be also additional points could be also given for the following factors: total cost, development time, vendor updates and support. So you can also give points. So manager could provide marks or points for each system, that is ABC. In the compatibility, nice compatibility. Additional points could be also given for the following factors such as total development time in there. Okay. Finally, the manager could sum up the total and decide the most suitable system among A, B, C. හරිනේ මොට්ටය සොල්ලේලවේ A is best, B is best, C is best කියලා අපිට මොට්ටයක් කියන්න බෑ, like එහෙම කියන්න බෑ, ඒක වැරදි එහෙම කිව්වොත්. Okay, A is better, B is better, C is better කියලා. But they also saying you all give marks and hint කියලා මොනවද එකක් තියෙනවා මේ? Give marks for each option. So what I can say it is I can provide marks or points for each system which has the features expected. තියෙනවා නා. Additional features would then pull on total cost එක බලලා, development time එක බලලා, vendor updates and support compatibility බලලා, I can also give additional points. Finally, the manager could sum up all the total, okay, points to decide the most suitable system among ABC to be implemented. Perfect answer එකක් 1 mark තමයි ඉන්නේ, but to the point ලිව්වත් හරි. Okay, it's all to the point on 1 mark කිලෝ ඔහේ ලියන්න එපා. ඒකත් ලස්සනට point එකක් තියනවා ලියන විදිය. So ඒ විදියට ලිව්වොත් still you can get it. Right, so with that we comes to an end of our structure paper also till the last moment. I didn't give up on you people, till the last moment. Exams are going to be day after tomorrow, so it's almost 12:12 and still I wanted to help you. Okay, just keep in mind that you have done enough. You have been working hard. Okay, reduce your careless mistakes. Each and every question that you all are reading it, make sure this is going to be your final chance. You are not going to do another powerhouse paper. You are not going to do another merit paper. This is going to be your final paper that you are going to do it. And this result will be reflecting on how much of effort you have put. So please do reduce all careless mistakes. Okay, be calm. Write, read what is needed and write what is necessary. Don't beat around the bush. To the point ලියන්න. Okay, prepare yourself and go. Okay, check some papers like this. But මේ papers කරනකොටම කොච්චර knowledge එකක් එනවද ඔයගලන්ට. Prepare yourself and go. Learn the art. Past papers are not to teach you all the theory නෙමෙයි. Learning the art of writing. Past papers will definitely teach you all how to learn it in there. With that, we comes to the end of the structure paper also. Okay, hats off to you people stayed in there. It takes almost 2 hours, 10 hours I make ඉවර කරන්න. But if it's possible නම් හෙට මට chance එකක් ලැබුණොත් මම ඔයාලන්ට කරන්නම්. With that, we comes to the end of structure series. I hope you guys are going to do the examination. Okay, Samara will be checking the recordings, but wanted to tell you that wishing you all the best. Okay, do the best. Okay, expecting an A result from you people. Okay, each and every one of you either come to my class or not, it doesn't matter, but okay, hope that you guys will be getting a really good result in there. We'll meet you all again, okay, soon. Maybe tomorrow if I'm scheduling a class, I'll let you all know. But ogalang exam lang will, I don't want to pressurize you all. Ogalang normal zone ne ki karagani ande. Okay, I'll keep in my duas. Okay, make sure you all also include in your duas and work hard, stay calm. Okay, clear a give a clear shot at the end. It's going to be your final paper, so be calm and do the paper. Read it very carefully. Don't panic it. Don't rush. You don't want to rush it. You can save your time properly. Lesson manage karande. Don't get bored into a question. Especially your MCQ is going to be your, okay, a headshot. MCQ is going to be definitely a headshot in there. Once you get the paper, there will be a lot of people uploading the scheme and everything. Don't look onto those schemes in there, because get yourself prepared for the other paper. After the paper, we will balamu. Adu fun but let it be aside. Okay, our focus is, okay, don't they say no, don't celebrate the victory before winning. Okay, so let it be. Read the questions very carefully. MCQs I balande hariyata lead karande. Just because you know the answer doesn't go and okay put thaggalada andepa. Tak tak galadagine andepa. Read it carefully. You will look for incorrect and correct. Python වගේ කරනවා නම් if you are weak in Python නම් ඒව skip කරලා others ටික බලලා අන්තිමේට Python එකට එන්න. Okay, theories, read it very carefully. Use the probability technique. Cut the answers පුළුවන් තරම්. Okay, you remember whatever the works we have done. Again, you might have all our powerhouse papers which I have corrected and give it to you all. So those papers will go through karanda. Check your red color pens will marker paper. Mistakes are the places where you can learn it. You all have been doing enough papers, enough practice till the last moment. I was able to be with you people, expecting you guys to perform well. Whatever, give your best shot. Wishing you all the best. Okay, I'll include into us. So may Allah bless you all. Aibowan. Assalamu alaikum. Do your exams well, and we'll see you all after the examination. Good night.